Hi everybody, it's Jen here, and I'm doing my 16th process video. I can't believe I've actually done 16 already. Um, for this video, I called it the multi-challenge video because this actually covered 3 different challenges I was planning on doing. So the first one was the challenge for last weekend, which was a tool challenge at the Victoria Marie Facebook group to use tools that you haven't used in a long time, and so I decided to pull out my punches. The second challenge was there was a challenge, a 3-part challenge over on the Citrus Twist blog, and it was to use circles, to use enamel dots, and to use different alphabet stickers. And so I thought, oh, that's a good kind of one to combine because I can use my circle punches. So I had these all cut out. I think I did this like Thursday, and then on Friday, the new weekend challenge came out on the Victoria Marie group, and it was about circles as well. So this is 3 different challenges all put together. So I have sped this process up considerably for you, but I'm just showing you parts of it so you kind of have an idea. I used 3 different sizes of circles. I used all my scraps from my March and April hip kits, and my plan was to cover this entire background page. So I wasn't gonna bore you by watching me cut them all out. I'm not gonna bore you by you watching me figure this out, but I'm just showing you enough of it so that you get an idea. So what I went away and did is made sure there's 3 circles on each little spot. I actually inked the edges just because I thought it made them stand out better. And then as I was doing that, I stuck the 3 circles together, and now I'm actually sticking it down onto the background. So I do have my cardstock lined up with the grid on my mat. I wasn't worried about making this perfect at all, just to help so that it wasn't entirely wonky. And as you can see too, I was not at all attempting to make the 3 circles all centered so they're all over the place as well, and I did that on purpose. I didn't want it to be perfect. I just wanted it to be a fun background, and this is actually going to be a layout with no photo, which I actually don't know if I've ever even made a layout without a photo before, but there is a layout before this. This is for Easter that has all the photos that we got because I did a egg hunt for the kids, and the kids, my 2 kids, and then my niece and nephew. They're older now. My niece is 14, my oldest son is 12, my nephew is 11, and my younger son is 10. So they're older now. Me just like throwing eggs out on the lawn is not really very fun for them. So they wanted me to make it harder. That's what they kept saying all year long. Every time we ever talked about Easter, it's kind of a tradition that our 2 families have Easter together. It was always, Mom, you gotta make it harder. So last year I took pictures of places and then had a little clue on it. And the older kids, it was really easy. A little bit easier for my kids too because we usually do it here. But they said, we have to make it harder, you have to make it harder. So I actually made it a 1-kilometer loop, starting and ending at our house, that went out down the street, and we have a green space behind us with a trail, and then back around that loop back to my house. So in that pocket are the pictures that I took and then the clue. And one set of kids went one direction and one set of kids went the other direction. And it was really fun. The 2 younger kids had a little bit of trouble. They got stuck on a clue, and so they took a little while to get back. Although in the end, they got here at the same time as the older 2 because they also got stuck at one right at the end. So it was good. So I'm making the title of this layout, they said, make it hard. And I put all the clues in that little pocket, and then I'm just making it fun. And to follow along with the challenge on the Citrus Twist, I'm going to add lots of enamel dots, and I'm using lots of different types of alphabets. So I'm using that really cool thicker font that came in, I think it was the April kit. And then I am actually hand cutting the heart out of this really pretty spring green paper. I don't think I've actually ever hand cut out a title, and it's not the greatest, but considering it's the first time I've ever done it, I think it's pretty decent. And I was even trying to make it sort of similar to the font of the thickers. And I'm going to do something there to make pop that up a little bit. They're just sitting there right now. And then I was just looking at the stack of scraps that I had left, and I'm just putting a little bit of layering in behind that pocket, just for one, to use some of the scraps and just to sort of give it a little bit more interest. And then I took those 2 circles off because you can't see them anyways, so I just pulled them out. Let me think if there was anything else. I know there's something I'd meant to say a while ago and I forgot, but I'm sure it will come back to me. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm just using up the scraps for the March and April kit. This pretty much got me there. I still have lots of thickers left. I had gotten an Amy Tangerine grab bag for National Scrapbook Weekend, and so that matched up with a lot of this stuff, and so added on a lot of extra embellishments and things like that. And I just really hadn't, for some reason, gotten to the April kit, so I ended up combining the March and the April kit together, and I'm just switching one out there because that green was the same green that I punched. That circle was the same green that I cut out the letters, so I just switched it out because it was kind of blending and it was making it hard for you to read. Oh yes, and here, this is what I had meant to say. I'm going to use some foam dots, or foam squares, I guess, to stick this title up on. And I'm using the regular ones, and then I'm using the thin ones just to stagger it a little bit. And the one thing you're not going to see on the video, because after I turn everything off and I literally am walking up the stairs to go take my photo of this layout, I just felt like it was still a bit hard to read the word hard. And I actually went back really quickly and just did a really quick outline in black pen. And I felt that helped a little bit, so you'll see that on the close-ups that are coming up shortly. So I could have just left it like right here. This is probably one of the most labor-intensive layouts I've done in a long time. I usually do not do the fiddly. I sometimes will take my time trying to make things square, or I'll use my trimmer instead of just using my scissors. But this took a long time. Like, I cut all those circles out, and they took me a while, and then it took me quite a long time to lay them all out and decide how I wanted them, and then now I'm going to play around with the bits that I have left from the kit. So this piece didn't take too long, but the whole layout altogether took me a really long time. So I'm going to take little pieces that are of the embellishments that are left over from the kit, and I'm going to decorate on each of the circles. So most of these circles are just going to have a couple enamel dots. I totally didn't need to do that. I could have just left them as is and just decorated a couple of the circles, but the challenge was to use enamel dots, and so I did. And I also, yeah, I didn't want to overdo it though, and so I think the enamel dots, because they're circles on circles, they're not too much. People may disagree, they may think this is a really busy layout, but without the photo on here, and then with using sort of these white thickers, I think it's not too crazy on your eyes anyways. What am I doing there? Oh, I'm stapling on something. I had some little paper clips, so I'm just stapling that on. And I'd actually meant to staple all of these because I didn't even want to try sewing. My sewing machine just doesn't seem to like me too much right now. I was going to staple them all and I forgot, and then when I remembered, I was not ripping them all back up again. But that had been my intent, was to staple them all together for a little bit of extra interest. But I did end up at least stapling that paper clip on. So I had the leftover words from the craft market. I actually had 2 sets of them. And then I pulled out a couple little bits of wood veneer, one from the kit, one from my stash. I pulled the puffy stickers that I have in my hand there. Those are also, I think, from the March kit, using a few of those. And I was going to use more sequins, because you can see there's a whole pack of sequins there. I only ended up using one. I don't know why I didn't end up pulling more, but so be it. And then that flare that I just put down there says "Just Saying," because I happened to find that I was doing a bit of a de-stash yesterday, and I'm still working on that. And I happened to remember that one. And so the kids were like, whoa, that was hard. And I'm like, you said make it hard. So I thought it was really funny to put that, just saying, on there, because it was just really, really funny. Um, they bugged me all year, and then they're like, wow, okay, Mom, that was hard. And the fact that, it was a kilometer of finding all these little packages. We put them all in cellophane bags, and then we put the next clue in the bag, and then we labeled them, like for each of the two teams. So it was quite labor intensive for me and for the other adults that helped me do it. And then what happened is because the kids are all so spread out, we didn't really get very many photos. So that's why I have an Easter page, and then I have this page with the clues with no photos, because there just really wasn't any other photos. I used the 4 I took, and that was it. But that's okay. This is, I think, the last page in my layout for 2015, for my first album for 2015, I should say. And so I don't think it's that big of a deal that there's no photo on it. And I am going to put a little bit of journaling on, you'll see. Here's where I'm going, like, enamel dot crazy. I don't know why I decided to put one on every single circle. Totally didn't need to. And I'm not getting low on enamel dots. That sounds ridiculous because you guys can see my stash right there of enamel dots. But yeah, like, I don't have as many as I used to, which I still have lots. I know. But, like, as crafters, we tend to be hoarders, and I'm starting to get to the stage where I feel like maybe I kind of want to get some more, or like 10, 20 packs, because that would make me feel better and happy. We just all like pretty stuff, don't we? Anyways, I decided to pull out these really cool blue thickers that came in my March kit, I believe, or might even be in February. They just have matched so well, I just keep moving them along, and I put clues on there. So that little pocket actually had open embossed on it, like raised embossed, and so I put the clues right over it. So you can still sort of tell it says open, but I put the clues over the top of it. I just thought it looked kind of, give it a cool effect. And then here's how I'm doing my journaling. This is kind of a grid paper, and I'm writing out what I wanted to say, and then I'm going to cut this up a bit, and it's going to end up on 4 little pieces, and I'm just going to tuck it in right beside the word hard there and underneath the clues. So you'll see in a second here how I'm doing it. And I'm just gonna, I had done it just in 2 lines, and then it was just a bit too long, and so I decided to cut it up and stagger it, and I think it actually ends up looking really cool. And because the page is already, busy, I thought that got my journaling on, but without making it even busier, with like putting like a big journaling box or something that I just think wouldn't have worked. This didn't detract from all the fun circles in the background. So I'm going to give you some close-ups, and I've taken some photos for close-ups for you as well, and that'll be it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will be back real soon. Bye now.